Good morning, grade 10. Last lesson, we spoke about the circle in chapter 10, lesson 1, and all of its terms inside the circle, like the radius and the diameter and the chord. In this lesson, we'll continue circle, lesson 2, chapter 10, measuring angles and arcs. Angles inside the circle. As we see here, central angle on the center B of the circle B. We have an angle ABC. This angle is a central angle because its vertex is on the center of the circle. If we have circle, from its center we make any angle. So this angle is a central angle. AOB has an X degree, for example. So AOB is a central angle. The sum of the central angle is 360. X and its reflex angle is 360 together. So if we have a circle, its angle or central angle divided into many angles. Angle 1, 2, 3. So what do you think is the sum of the measured of these three angles? Measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 2 plus measure of angle 3 must equal exactly 360 degrees. If we have circle, its diameter, split the center angle into two equivalent angles. Each one will be exactly 180. So the diameter of the circle split its central angle into two equivalent angles. Each one is 180 degrees. If two diameters perpendicular to each other, it means it's forming 90-degree angle in four angles. The sum of the four angles equals 360. So the two perpendicular diameter divide the central angle into four equivalent angles. Each one is 90-degree angle. Let's see this example. We have here three different angles. One of them 130, one of them is 90, and the third is X is missing. So to find the missing angle, X, add the two given angles 130 plus 90, subtract it from 360 as shown. So it will be at the end 140 degrees. In 1A, example 1A, $145 and $165. $165, $145, and this one is X. Find X. So X in this case would be measure of angle X equal 360 minus 145 plus 165. 365. So x equal 360 minus the sum of these two angles equal 310. So x equal 50 degree. The arc. What is the arc? The arc is a portion of a circle, part of the circle, part of the circumference of the circle. Its end point is the ends of the angles of the central angle open on it. So if we have here PQR is a central angle, P and R are also the end points of the arc open in front of the central angle called arc. PR is arc, part of the circumference. So the arc is a portion of the circle defined by two end points. We have minor arc, major arc. So what's the minor arc? Minor arc is small arc. Major is the bigger one. So from A to B on the circle, we have an arc, which is the red one, in front of angle X. So this one is minor because if we follow the other direction from A to B, which is the blue one, in front of the reflex of angle X. A, B. From A to B, minor, and from A to B, green, is major arc. The measure of the arc exactly the same like the measure of its opposite central angle. So if this is 80 degree, it means arc AB measure 80 degree as well. And the reflex one, AB reflex, this one is minor. AB measure equal 360 minus 80, which is 280 degree. Also, we can name the major one with another point in the path of its circumference. This one is A, B as a minor, and there is a point here called D. So what do you think is the name of the major arc? Exactly, ADB. So ADB arc means AB measure. Semicircle, from the word itself, semicircle means half circle, exactly. How can we have a half circle? If we split it by the diameter. So the diameter split the circle into two semicircles. Let's see example 2. Classify arcs and find arc measure. Gj is a diameter, as we see, of the circle K. Identify each arc as a major arc or minor arc, then find its measure. Measure of arc GH. GH from G to H. This one is a minor or major? Yes, minor. So the minor arc measure less than 180 degrees. Major arc is greater than 180 degrees. So GH measure 122 because it's opposite to central angle 102. So it's a minor arc. Measure of arc GLH. GLH. Yes, from G to H also, but major, not minor. Why? This one is G, this one is H. So GH is minor. But GLH, this one. So it's major. And what's the measure of it? If this one 122, so what do you think is this one? Yes, 360 minus 122 equal 238. So GLH measure 238, it means it's measure because it's greater than 180. Congruent arcs. Congruent arcs means that arcs have the same measure or have the same length if it's in the same circumference of the same circle. So in this circle L, we have many arcs, F, G, G, H, H, J, and J, F. So F, the opposite angle, opposite central angle of the arc, equal to another central angle. So the two opposite arcs will be congruent because they will have the same measure. And also, they will have the same distance or length because the arcs have measure and have length. Length because it's a part of the circumference, measure because it's open on front of the central angle, which is 360. If it's part of the circle, it will be also same measure of its opposite central angle. So he said here, angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent. So angle 1 opposite to the arc FG and angle 2 opposite to the arc JH. It means that JH arc is congruent to FG arc. Adjacent arc. Adjacent means beside each other, common in one point, like the arc HJ is adjacent to JK. Adjacent doesn't mean that they are equal. They could be different measure or length, but they are adjacent because they have a common point between them. AB arc, CD arc are not adjacent. AB arc and CD arc, these two arcs are not adjacent. What about CD arc and AC arc? Yes, these two are adjacent arc. AC and CD are adjacent because they have a common point between them, which is C. Use arc addition to find the measure of arcs. Find each measure in the circle F. Measure of arc AED. AED. AED consists of two arcs in front of two different central angles, 63 and 90. So from D to A equal the sum of 63 and 90. So together will be 153. ADB. ADB. Okay, means all this reflex angle, which is 63 plus 90 plus this one plus that one. So how can we find the measure of ADB? Let's see. This one is 90. This one is 63. And what about this one? Yes, also will be 63. Why? Because it's opposite, vertically opposite angle with this angle. So these two angles are vertically opposite angles, so both of them will have the same measure. And all of this one is a linear, is a straight angle, which is equal 180. So the sum of the three angles are 180. One of them 90, the other one is 63, so the remainder will be 180 minus the sum of 90 plus 63, which is equal 180 minus 153, which is equal, yes, it will be 27. So if this one is 27, 63 and 90, and then 63. So the remainder from 360 is what? 360 minus, this angle is x, for example. So x equal 360 minus what? The whole 180 plus 63, the sum of 1, 2, 3, 4 angles, which is 180 plus 63. So angle x equal 360 minus 243. So x equal, yes, 117. arc length, as we just spoke about it, is the distance between the two endpoints along an arc measured in linear units, since an arc is portion of a circle. And this portion is proportional to the angle of the central angle opposite to this arc. If this angle is 80, so it's 80 from 360, correct? So AB arc have the same portion, 80 out of 360. Arc AB have the same portion as a length. As a length of what? What's the length of the total circle? 2 pi r. Yes. So the same ratio. So AB arc length equal what? 80 times 2 pi r over 360. So AB length equal, if the radius equal, for example, 3 centimeter, so to be 0, 0, and 8 was 36, divided by 4 to be 2 and 9. So 4 pi r over 9. And the radius equals 3, so to be 4 pi times 3 over 9. 3 was 9, so to be 4 over 3 pi is the length of the arc AB. Another example. So if we split the circle into 4 equivalent parts, each angle is 90. What do you think happened to the circumference? Yes, it's divided also into 2 equivalent parts in each semicircle. So we divide the circle into 4 equivalent parts. Each one is 1 over 4, 1 over 4, 1 over 4. So from A to B is 1 over 4 of the whole circumference. Exactly like the opposite angle is 1 over 4 from the whole 360. So if we have here the radius equal 5, what do you think will be the measure of AB arc? So AB arc measure 90 degree, but AB arc length width equal 1 over 4 of the circumference, which is 2 pi r. So AB arc length equal 1 over 4 times 2 pi times 5. 2 times 5 equals 10, so to be 10 over 4 pi, which is 5 over 2 pi. This is the AB arc length, quarter of the whole circumference. Find the length of ZY, round to the nearest hundredth. ZY here in front of angle 75 and the radius equal 4. So 75 over 360 is multiplied by the circumference of the circle, 2 pi r, which is r equal 4. So the answer would be 5.24. Let's find the measure of the arc AB. Yes, correct. It's equal to 60 because it's opposite to central angle, 60. So measure of arc AB minor equals 60 degrees. What's the length of the arc AB? The length of the arc AB is proportional to the opposite central angle to its whole angle 360. So AB arc equal the same ratio, the same fraction from the opposite central angle, 60 from the whole part over total, times what? The circumference, because AB arc length is a part of the circumference. So what's the circumference? 2 pi r. So AB arc length equal 1 over 6 times 6 pi. So AB arc length equal pi, which is approximate 3.14. Homework in the practice book, page 125. The whole page. Thank you. See you next lesson, inshallah.